So welcome to the no video for the Patreon episode, and today, as we talked about last week, we're gonna do something that's related to alien shit and sculpting and another, more displacement tricks and all that. And excuse me for a second. I may be also gonna talk a little bit about the artistic, the personal part of this whole thing that we pretend to do here. We all pretend to be artists, but what all we do is just rearrange assets and you know make the Last of Us fan art again and again. Not saying I'm not doing that, I'm guilty of that, but all right. Yeah, I'm probably gonna talk more on the personal shit and maybe some techniques along the way. So here's the video. Oh, and by the way, Leo from the future here. I forgot to say that we're gonna split the video in two parts, and if you wanna watch the second part, which is gonna be the techniques, you can skip ahead. But if you wanna watch the personal, you know, talking shit part, you can just watch it. Nobody's gonna arrest you for that. It's not breaking any laws, from what I know. All right. Okay, personal talk, huh? Yeah. So the title of the video is gonna be about burnout and all this stuff, and I think it would be relevant to talk about because lately I've been so fucking burned out because of my own doing. This is your mistake. You're not supposed to complain about it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna complain about it. I'm gonna talk about it because I'm the artist here. And all this shit is all about my feelings, and nobody can say otherwise, right? If you say otherwise, then fuck off. I'm kidding. Don't fuck off. I need the support. By the way, burnout. Yeah, I think as artists we are. I've been watching this video like by a local YouTuber who's doing philosophy contents, and some of the things that he said is pretty resonant to me, and mainly the thing about creative work and the nature of creative work itself, because the video was about the history of creative work, and I'll link you to it if you want to watch it. I don't know why would you want to watch it, because you won't understand a single word of it, but I'll link it anyways just for giving credit. And by the way, so he said in the video that the nature of creative work, unlike any other work, like if you're living in the I don't know 1800s and you're living in the industrial revolution and you work as a factory worker, your work is what is being sold there is your time, right? Is your time and your energy, and the industry mainly converts like human energy into products, right? So you go to work, you work until I don't know fucking 12 hours. How many people work back then? How many hours? I don't know. And you come back home and you still have more time to for personal family matter stuff, because to you work is just merely a unless you really enjoy putting rivets into cars, but I don't know who's got a passion for that, but people are different. But I think it's safe to assume that most people's passion is not that. So if you work at a Ford factory or something like that, when your work is done, you're gonna come home and you're gonna spend time with your family, and maybe you enjoy doing pottery on the side, maybe you enjoy making shoes, you're gonna do that. And because the work is not connected to you at all, it's just a means to an end. And the case with creative work, why it's different from all that work, is not because it's more special or anything, not because it's more elevated kind of work, but mainly because what we're selling here, right? What we're selling art. And let's go back first. What is art? Like art to me is a way to express, a way to communicate your point of view, your message, your personality to the audience, to the art world. And whether or not people enjoy it, it's actually not within your control. But what all you can do is to make sure your message is true and clear, and it's what you want to do. That is art to me. That is why I consider concept art to be not so much of an art, not because it's not artistic. It's very artistic, in fact, but just because it's a means to an end, right? You don't control it, and that's art. So your whole personality is what's being on center stage here. That's art. We can talk about technical stuff, but when it comes to the core of it, it's all about the personality of the artist, right? And going back to artistic work, creative work, is why is it you never, well, maybe you will, but why is it's, at least to me, it's so rare that you hear that a car salesman, or an accountant, or just like any other job that's not creative work, is they rarely express burnout. It could be because they are it's a taboo in the industry, or personally they don't like doing that, or but I have never heard like my uncle, like, yeah, sure, they hate their job, but they never express like, fuck, I can't even put that rivet into that car. I never hear him do that. Even when he's got fight with his wife or something, he still shows up to work and still performs. Unless people got depression or some other mental issues, that's different. But I'm talking about a human being that's at a baseline mental condition here. But with art, you got a bad mood, ideas aren't going to flow out. Okay, if you got a bad day or something, it's gonna be harder. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's gonna be harder. And why are we experiencing more burnout, according to the video, is because art is our personality. That's just what I said earlier. We got burned out so easily, we got hurt so easily if the client hates our work, because it's our personality that we're selling, right? No matter how you want to divide the work. Maybe you're doing posters for movies, you're doing logos, you're doing anything like art related. Even when it's not your call to do anything, it's not your idea, some of your personality is gonna shine through, right? And because it's a part of your personality, you start to work odd hours, right? You start to work odd hours because you think this is your identity, right? You think this work is really important to you as a person, and you're not a person. Why I'm switching to British accent? You're not a person if you don't do that, right? That's basically it. Because artists have a really unhealthy attachment to their work, and sometimes it's not funny. Most of the time it's not funny, right? And I know people who got legit depressed because they cannot fucking draw clutched arms, and that's the stupidest fucking thing ever. Like, if you think about it. But I'm not unvalidating the feelings of other people. But come on, right? If you're really in it, go back and look at the grand scheme of things. I also do that because I got obsessed over that one fucking material that wouldn't get right, and got fucking depressed after that. And yeah, that's it. So I think that makes a lot of sense, that why we got burnout. And can we be happy, right? That's the big question. Can artists be happy? I guess we can. We kind of can. But that also comes with the courage of realizing that, well, maybe you're not the best artist out there, right? Maybe you're not the best. You're not the best at doing shit. You're not the best at maybe drawing hands. You're not the best at composition. But the good news is you're good at something. Even when that's something that you're good at, you're not the best at, but you're good at something. And you need the courage to admit that, right? To admit that you are not the shit, to admit that you are not the center of the world. for once, right? For once. Sorry. It needs courage, and it requires an effort because, you know, after so being so well, not so long, after, you know, doing this shit for, I don't know, since 2013 I've been doing this stuff. I realized that just not art and just life in general, like happiness requires effort. It's like fitness, it's like mental health, like it's like cooking a good food, right? Everything needs effort, and that includes happiness. And you know, you gotta learn to let go. You gotta learn to accept, and you know, it's been a I think it's all been a journey of self acceptance. You know, in terms of being happy as an artist, right? Because if you're not gonna accept, like, say that you feel good today, right? You feel freaking good. You feel like you're on top of the world because you just made something that got 3,000 likes on ArtStation. Like, you're happy, right? And then tomorrow, some kid from Mogadishu or from Mongolia or from Indonesia will upload something that, you know, totally destroys your work. Your work suddenly looks like shit just because of that fucking kid. Always be better. And by the way, I think that you should also do that. You should also strive to be better, but you should also know the fact that, you know, that's like a carrot dangled in front of a donkey, right? It's a good goal to have, but to think that you can really achieve, you know, perfection, like happiness from being the best forever, it's like it's stupid as shit. I think it's stupid as shit. I used to think that, but I'm no longer thinking that nowadays. And I know I said that in the past that you should compare yourself to others, but in terms of learning, but in terms of yourself, your, you know, your whole being, you shouldn't compare yourself to others, right? You should be able to separate between your personal life and your artistic life, because sure, art is important, but life itself is way more important than art, you know? You're not gonna be able to create art is fucking depressed as shit, right? You cannot create a good art if you're tired, right? If you're dead, right? So that's, you know, that's the point. So I myself am still in the journey. I hope you are also, you know, you can find your own way, you can find your own happiness, because nowadays in social media everything's a fucking race nowadays. Everything's fucking race. Nobody's taking a break anymore, you know. Entertainment is fast. Every client wants the image fucking yesterday. Like, I feel like, you know, it's eroding the point of being an artist in the first place. And that's sad. That's legit sad. And if you look at ArtStation, I know I joked earlier about The Last of Us fan art, and I'm not hating the studio. In fact, I'm a big fan of Naughty Dog. But the point I'm trying to make is, you know, everything becomes so incestuous because we're not. I think most people are, you know, and it's not their fault. It's just, you know, how it is. A society. We live in a society. It's just, you know, the condition of what it is. But most artists nowadays worry more about, I think, including me, worry more about what they should be instead of what they are, right? Oh, I should be. I fucking like drawing, you know, buff tigers fucking each other. But in terms of, you know, if I want to work in this industry, I shouldn't do that. That's the problem, right? If you like drawing fucking humanoid tigers, you know, fucking each other in the ass, and by all means do that, you know, that's what you love. You know, there's always gonna be a market for that, right? It's gonna be some person that's gonna buy your art, you know, gonna enjoy it, you know. And that leads to, you know, unhappiness, right? Because we do art to find meaning, and when we're not doing what we want to do, you know, I don't think we can find meaning there. yeah, I think that's it, man. That's it for the rant, and let's go to the technical part. I hope you're enjoying this. Let me know what you think about this type of stuff, because lately I've been thinking that technically people are proficient. Now, you can find fucking tutorials everywhere. You can walk in my room, right, and you take 2 steps, you're gonna bump into a tutorial or art, basically. So yeah, let me know what you think about this segment, and we'll go straight to the technical part. And yeah, I'll see you there. Holy shit! All right, we're going to the blender already, huh? Let me decrease my size just a little bit. All right, so like we talked last week, and let me put this gun away. We talked last week. We're gonna do some alien sculpting because in my work, like I work for a few other clients other than One Pixel Press, like this past few months. That is why I'm so busy and cannot do these Patreon videos. And I got to work on some stuff that's really alienish, and I learned some new techniques that I hope to hope to be useful for you today. And let's just jump into it. So let's create an alien weapon, huh? Because there's some nifty techniques that I can show you along the way. So let's do that. I like to start first with metaball because and the ellipsoid, just because it's so malleable, right? If you like, press Shift D, and by the way, screencast keys, don't forget red, because red is good. Boom. Now it's showing. Maybe it's not big enough, huh? Boom. Can you see it now? Awesome. Got shadows and background. Oh, maybe shadows. All right. Yeah, just because it's so malleable. And if you, like, for instance, press Shift D, right, you can do that. And it's really easy to use this to create I don't know, a more organic look, right? Let me find some reference. All right, yeah. So it's easy to create an organic look with this particular technique. So again, if you like, you can do this, right? If you need something that's really long, and what's cool about it, if you move it like this, it's this is gonna have this nice intermediary to it, like it's trying to fill the gap, and I think that's really interesting. And it's really cool to use this to find cool silhouettes for your organic design. And that's why I think it's so cool. I really like using it. Well, that's, how about we don't do a gun? How about we do like some sort of a blade? Alien blade, something like that. That would be interesting. Well, no, maybe let's do a fucking gun, huh? Maybe a blade. I'm debating on what to do right now. Yeah, let's do some sort of a shape that's vaguely a weapon, I think. Let's create an interesting block out. I think this is kind of awesome. And if you switch this to local, by the way, instead of, if you're global, if you press like S, Y, for instance, it's like it's gonna behave weird. But if you switch to local, you can suddenly do that, which is nice. It's nice to have, like on the for it to rotate it, how you're expecting it to rotate. I don't know if this is great. Yeah, maybe this is cool. I'm sure we can work with that. Let's add some thing to it. Something like that. Yeah, that could work. Sure. I would like to have like something in the here, right? Something's yeah, maybe something like that. Because I'm also trying to make this silhouette from the front interesting, other than concentrating on this part. So that's mainly why I do that. And maybe you can add thickness to it too, like this, huh? Yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. And we're kind of losing the top interesting part, but let's see. I think I like that one. Yeah, let's make it like an insect head or something, huh? Could be interesting, right? Because I know that you can do this pretty easily on ZBrush, but you know me, fucking ZBrush. Come on, it's a great software. Don't get me wrong, but god damn the UI. And if you're like if the resolution is not big enough, you can go to the first orb that you have, and you can scale it up to, or scale it down. I was wrong. Not scale up. Scale it down to have more resolution in your mesh, so that way it's smoother, and you can really see like the irregularities of your shit, and you can tweak that. I think that's interesting. Maybe thicker, huh? Let's make it thicker. I like the silhouette. What else? Let me see what else we can do here. I think we can give thickness to this, but it's already thick from all that shit. Yeah, let's add to it. You see, sometimes I find it really hard to, what's the word, to convey information about art to people, because most of if not all of what I do is instinctive. It's just based on instincts. And I'm not saying that's because you're such a badass, you do everything by instinct. I'm not trying to do that, but what I'm trying to say is it's when it's become like a second nature, what you do, you just know what looks good and what looks doesn't, according to you, not objectively but your subjectivity. It becomes hard to really transfer that information to people, because it's like trying to make sense of something that's not really tangible, but you only can feel like it's like describing how air looks like when you can only feel what air feels like, right? It's kind of like that. Yeah, I like this shape. It's maybe add something. It's kind of be like a tentacle. Well, not tentacle, like something, you know, just to make it more interesting. And I don't know if you can mirror this, but yeah, that's gonna be an issue, right? When we mirror it. God damn it. Okay, how about we do this? Don't do that. We duplicate him, right? And we press Control, so it's steady. Press Control, right? Oh, fail again. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so press Control up. Look at the number here, right? Like the number, it's gonna be in this area. Let's do it again. And it's 1.9, so that means that's 1.3. So it's gonna be 9 divided by 3 is gonna be 16. So I'm gonna duplicate this again, and it's gonna be minus 16, right? And we have like an equal amount of distance between them, and you can just position them as you like. Let's change this also. Now I want to scale this both individually, but when I do that, it's gonna scale based on the average distance of the two. And in order to scale individually, you can go to here and can do individual origins, and you can do that. Right? That's so easy. Okay, let's see what could be an interesting arrangement for it. Yeah, I think that's I think we can work with that. Well, maybe not. Maybe just a little bit more in this part, just to bridge it. You know, I like me some bridges. Oh, not too strong. Maybe some tail that could. Maybe that could work, huh? Some tail. Change this to global. Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. All right, we can work with this. Nice. Let's rotate it. Awesome. I like it. And this is our base mesh, right? Look like how easy it is to create a base mesh in using a meta ball. And I usually have a backup, like move it to back fucking up. And we can duplicate it by creating Shift D. Move this here and press F3 on your keyboard and search convert to mesh. And this way now, oh fuck. We should, you know, before that you should go to object first. You go to relations and you can make single user, object, and data. That way it's not gonna be affecting this one. Right? And fuck, it's still affecting it, huh? Oh, there, maybe because it is. Well, folks, I guess we cannot do that in Metable, huh? I tried it. Holy shit. Let's try to convert it again. Yeah, you can't do it. Well, maybe I remembered it incorrectly, but you get the point, right? You can maybe save it into another blend file, but we're not talking about that here. We're talking about sculpting, all right? So let's sculpt some shit. So we have these two base meshes. Set origin to geometry. World origin, boom, move it there. Now we can add more details to it using the sculpt mode in Blender. Now let's sculpt. And, you know, just a couple of intro to Blender sculpting. You know, many people like to do it by having multi-res modifier into the mesh that works exactly like the divide in ZBrush function. So if you add the modifier to a mesh and press subdivide, it's going to, you know, subdivide everything and you can sculpt onto it. And if you, come on. Yeah, the undo is fucking annoying. It's so if you subdivide, you can go between a higher subdivision and a lower one. So if this is the sculpt, this meaning that one is gonna affect the sculpt mode, but when I switch the viewport to 0 and I go back to the regular viewport, it's gonna be going back to normal. But if I'm going to sculpt, it's gonna be in higher resolution just because the data is different than the viewport. And if I press it like back to 0, the resolution is gonna be, you know, back down again. So this is exactly functions like ZBrush, but I don't like to do this, right? This is great, but this is so cumbersome. For instance, if I'm pulling everything like this, and surely it's gonna be, the geometry is not gonna be as dense, right? So meaning when I pull it that way, I cannot add more detail to it. And what I like to do instead of using this is using Dynotopo. It's like basically Dynamesh on ZBrush. And you can, before you sculpt, you switch this detailing to constant detail, and this is the resolution, and you can test it, right, with some brush. Let's use the clay tube. If it's not big enough, you can play around with the value and see what suits you best. Right? See that, the geometry. And if you even when you pull it, right, the mesh is gonna be not as dense, but when you sculpt back at it, right, increase the resolution, and you sculpt back at it, the resolution, oh holy shit, it's wrong. Yes, this one. See? The resolution is gonna big again, right? And it's weird because it only works with certain brush, the Dino Topo, but that's basically how it works, kind of, right? So it adds mesh whenever you sculpt. So hey, let's sculpt some alien gun, huh? Yeah, sorry for the silence, guys. If I'm work, I usually are very silent, so I'm not speaking much. Yeah, let's go to another brush. Let's put the snake brush for later. Let's have some nice breakups first. And I'm just, I'm just sculpting out of my ass here. I don't have any particular ideas in mind. Yeah, that could work. And to smoothen it, it's just like ZBrush. You can press Shift and you can move your brush around. It's gonna smooth everything up. Kind of like that. This is the multiplane scrape. I don't know how it exactly differs from pinch, but it's kind of like pinch. And I kind of like using it more than using pinch. So that's a nice fall off. I kind of like that, kind of dig that. Do it again. Let's draw sharp, and draw sharp is basically damn standard in ZBrush. Like if you want to draw something that's really sharp, instead of just a regular brush that ZBrush got. And to my knowledge, this doesn't work with, doesn't really work with the Dino Topo shit that we talked about earlier. So, again, this works on several kinds of brush and not all. I want to do something like that. I want to like kind of have like kind of this part to be kind of smooth, and as it goes towards the back, it's gonna be having more like a more separated plane, like a car, right? If you get what I mean, right? Yeah, let's sculpt it. By the way, how you doing, guys? Thank you for the support so far. I really appreciate you sticking up, staying around and not leaving. And if you leave, that's okay. That's okay because it's your money and I'm just a busker in the street. But if you're sticking around, I want you to know that you have my eternal gratitude because in this day and age, to have a sincere support behind you is, it means a lot to me. It means more than everything, almost everything to me. Well, maybe except my toys. I love my toys, but you get what I mean, right? It matters to me. Let's try. Let's try that. Not working. Not working. That's a smooth brush. Yeah, fuck that. Let's use the snake hook again. Let's create some interesting shapes. Yeah, see, that's interesting, right? Snake hook is like basically the grab brush, but on steroids. That's basically this brush, but it's on steroids. It's way stronger. That's why I love it, to create this nice irregular details for alien shit. And this is supposed to be the carapace, so let's do something that resembles that. And not break the silhouette too much. How about that? That looks interesting. No. Too much. Too much. Boom. Let's do that again. All right, you can like create interesting details with this, and even with cloth brush. Right, sometimes I do use cloth brush to add details like carapace details, like insect to it. And in fact, let's try that. Oh no, it's too big. Holy shit! Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. God damn it. Oh, it's not crashing. I'm overreacting. Let's turn off the dino over now. You're too much. Yeah, it can add like these irregular, smaller details, which I like. I really enjoy that. You see how I like that. I like the small details. Like it adds more to the carapaceness to everything. Come on. You're right. And suddenly this looks more interesting. And sure, you would like you would need to have some rest area, but if you're looking for details everywhere, like for even hard surface, not just cloth, this is like, if you have symmetry, this is like the way to go. Like for random generated details. Let's do that. Come on, buddy. Come on, you can do it. Come on, computer. Don't think too hard. You know, and for the size, you can really play around with how far, you know, how far your strokes are. Fuck, I love that. That's lost. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's interesting, but let's add more to it. Nice. Love that. Boom. Let's see. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Nice. Yeah, I think that's enough for that area. I kind of want more here. Let's try. Let's try add more. Kind of like that, by the way. Come on. Come on, buddy. Work. Work for me. Yeah, that works. Right? And you see that it's, you know, going to the bottom a bit. And I guess that's okay because, you know, it's kind of bridging everything. And in fact, let's add to it. Come on. Are you done? Yeah, that's nice. Let's continue. So that's how you get this interesting shapes and how it details with cloth. And if you go to, you know, draw sharp again, you can reinforce some of that details just to have more emphasis to it. You know, like that, right? If you're going to the nitty gritty of sculpting, but if you're doing just concepts, I think this is plenty enough. But I just, you know, let's go an extra mile here. This is fun. You can do that. You can make some details stronger, some not, right? And you know, you can use matcap to see the details even more clearly. You can sharp, you know, smooth some of them. It's not gonna hurt. That's nice, right? I love that. Looks like a carapace already. Like some creature that got turned into a gun or something. Like some alien life. Love it. Do you think aliens are real, guys? Like, I'm not kidding. Like, this is a legit question. Like, I'm so into aliens just because I'm listening so much podcasts, you know, about aliens and shit. And it's creeping into my mind, and I start to think like, yeah, maybe the government is hiding shit from us, and not just the U.S. government. Like in Indonesia, we have a pretty high profile sighting of aliens that involves the military shooting at unknown spacecraft, not spacecraft, aircraft, right? And some whole villages witnessing to some personnel from that unknown aircraft to having really futuristic clothing in blue. You know, that's interesting. That piques my interest. And I think as a concept artist, like things like that is interesting to be inspired by. Right? Essentially, it's your perspective, right? I think that's nice. I think I would like to reinforce some bit with them. If you are using like draw sharp, if you press control, it's gonna be the opposite. It's gonna be having these sharp lines to it that are protruding. So that's also nice to add details. You need details. If you don't need details, then fuck off. I think I would like to do that too. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Let's do that. Let's make it follow off as it go back. And we'll make it like very dense in the beginning. And let's have that like a dimple separates the edge from the nut edge. That's nice, right? And for the bottom, what I was planning is like it's wrapping around, like so. There's like a part where it's the carapace and a part where it's like it's a gun itself. So it behaves more like a creature, like a turtle or something. This is fun, guys. We should do that more. We should do this more. Boom. Like this, right? You get what I mean, right? So this is the carapace, and this is like the belly of it. And let's reinforce that by using like the draw sharp, but pressing control, so it's creating a sharp line that divides. That always helps to, you know. So you know what? I just saved you fucking $900. You don't have to buy ZBrush now. I'm kidding you. For some functions, ZBrush are surely much better. I'm just kidding. Please don't sue me, ZBrush. Please, Pixologic. Yeah, that is nice, bro. I dig that. Okay, with that being done, now let's add more to the belly. I was saying like turtle, right? So let's make something like turtle belly. In fact, let me find some reference of turtle bellies here. Okay. So it's like a layered structure. So one is protruding and one is not. Let's draw it first. Let's just draw it first. So yeah, maybe something like that. Would like to bridge this too. Yeah, that should work nicely. Should work nicely, bum. Holy shit. Yeah, continue that. And fade as it goes to the button. Nice. Okay, what else? Like, this is like the dick, right, of the gun. Yay! Let's see. I'm looking at reference now, what we can do. Yeah. By the way, if you're using Draw Sharp and you're running out of geometry, you can just, you know, fucking sculpt it, I guess. And maybe add more to it, huh? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, interesting. Dig it. Some disgusting organic holes. And let's get the clay strip and add more definition to it. Add more mesh to it just because I want to have something like that functions like a vein of a tube or something. It connects to this part. Yeah, that is nice. Boom. We're sculpting, guys. Holy shit. Yeah, I want to like have like a more defined shape there. Maybe that could be interesting. Maybe I'm gonna speed up some part of this one because this is so boring. Right? Well, maybe not. If you want to watch it real time, you can watch it too, I guess. Yeah, maybe I'll speed it up and, we're gonna go back again when I texture this shit. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you can also add blobs with this. I forgot to say that. To add more to the alienness to it because aliens are we are doing this disgusting kind of alien here, so we're gonna make this a little disgusting for sure. Yeah, this blob brush is like fucking magic, I swear to god, bro. Yeah, like that. Okay, here. Whoa, that's dirty. Let's pinch. Like pinch. Yeah, that's not working so well. Fuck that. Draw sharp and reinforce the holes. Why not? Reinforce these bubbles. Yeah, I dig that. Like that's like kind of nice to see. I would like to have more disconnection, like it's a theme from this. That could be interesting. Okay, so that's enough detail for this part, and let's leave this part as like a rest area, right? And let's just have some sparsely placed details, like lines like these, just simple ones. Let's use clay instead, just, you know, to have some more geometry to it. You know, something like that could work. Right. I used to hate like alien stuff, but you know, after like I grow older and shit, start to be more interesting because you start to wonder, yeah, maybe we're not alone. Maybe there's life out there. And I don't know which is more terrifying, whether we're alone or we're not, but I would love like I want us for not I want it to god damn it, fucking English. You know, I want the fact we're not alone. I want the fact that we're not alone is true. So I want there to be aliens so we're not alone in the universe. Because to me, it's depressing if we're the only ones who are, you know, who are bestowed with this knowledge and awareness of ourselves, our sins, our mistakes, our achievements. You know, it feels kind of alone to me. It just feels depressing. So, anyways, boom. Let's reinforce that one. I think that's nice. And it's supposed to shoot something, right? So now we ran into the problem where we don't have any holes which it can shoot from. So let's amend that. Let's use this. Let's flatten everything. Actually, I'm gonna use the grab brush. Grab something to be kind of like that. Yeah. Yep, that should work. Use the blob brush. Maybe let's try things. Let's not be complaining all the time here. Yep, that could work. Definitely work. Play. Go into it. Just make a hole. Come on, Dinotopo. I need more details. Add to it. Boom, we kind of like got a hole here. So that's good. Let's reinforce it. Emphasize, not reinforce. I've been using the wrong word, but hey, I'm not a native English speaker, so fuck off. Nice. That's disgusting. Okay. I guess the last part that I want to do is I want it to have like some kind of a tentacle. So, and we're not gonna do that in this mesh, but we're gonna maybe put it here. Here is a good place. So we're gonna create the hole first, right? Create the reinforcement for the hole, and we're gonna use another meta ball. go to object mode, you know, set the origin geometry, add a metable, ellipsoid, go to here, you know, just put it there like a fucking acne, like a disgusting acne. You know, duplicate it a bit, add something like that could work. Scale the initial down, convert it, and go back to sculpt, and we're gonna use the snake brush. Go to Dino Topo. Yeah, if it's not enough detail, then add more to the details. Just we're gonna pull that shit. Pull that shit. Not enough. Like I'm trying to find like a good position, good angle for it. And you can see, I really love Snake Brush, man. I'm telling you. You can get a pretty interesting arrangement of shit. Come on. Yeah. That should work well. Done. And let's just mirror that shit. Mirror. Mirror. Boom. Now we have a tentacle. Can, of course, do more. If you like. Nobody's gonna stop you. Nice, I love that. Go back to the sculpt mode and let's trace, add some hole to it, like we always do. Boom. Nice. Nice. Okay, it's totally disgusting. Go back to the object mode and let's go to some texturing, huh? Yeah, I like auto smooth. Boom, let's texture that shit. Texture these bad boys. Apply everything, merge. Yeah, we're done. Okay, let's go to texturing. So now you have this interesting alien gun design. What's left to do is to have interesting materials to it. So go to shader texture, and we're gonna switch the renderer from cycles to EV. Is this still fucking recording? Yeah. From EV to cycles. What I mean. And yeah, let's do cycles. Of course, it's loading render kernels. Come on, load it, you fuck. Okay, I'm gonna pause this for a second. Okay, it's loaded. We're texturing. So let's add some materials. So like this is just a basic, right? And why I switched to cycles, because the ambient occlusion node, it's not gonna work in EV. It's only works in cycles. So because we're gonna do that a lot, like even like the geometry node, the pointiness, it's not gonna work in EV. So we gotta switch to cycles. So let's do that. So look, initial color. Loading kernel again. You gotta be kidding me. All right, we have the base color. Make it like a little like green-ish. Maybe not metallic, but I want the roughness to be down a bit. And like this is just gonna be like a simple setup, right? So we're gonna have two. One slightly darker. We're gonna have mix shader. We're gonna have pointiness here. We're gonna have color ramp. Let's make it contrasty. And if you switch back to the this node right here, it's not doing anything. Yeah, let's just switch it because it's the wrong position. Because you gotta switch the roughness and, you know, make it stronger maybe. Yeah, that works. And you gotta switch this. So now you see that the the concave is more, it's clearer now, right? And you can actually change the material to any color that you want. Add the metallic to it. That's just like the basic, you know, setup I usually use for this type of stuff. And you can even add that more, like make shader, you know, the material here. And one that's lighter this time. Pointiness. Color ramp again. You can also use ambient occlusion, but I usually work with this pointiness node. And this time we're gonna target the peaks. So now if you look at it, the peaks are, you know, lighter and more metallic. All right. You can even do that. And if you want it to be translucent, you can also do that. Kernels are loading again. You gotta be fucking kidding me, guys. Holy shit. Yep, kernel's done loading. Yeah, you can even transmission to it if you want. It's not working. Where's the transmission? I need the transmission. Oh, maybe because of that, huh? Let's straight transmission here. Why is it not working, bro? Metallic is working. Yeah, I guess you gotta turn off the metallic in order to have transmission. Yeah, you gotta kind of do that. You know, some flashy colors. Why not, right? It's interesting. See, you can do that. Transmission for this too, maybe. And this one is blue. See how easy to do it. Okay, so that concludes our video for this, and I guess I'll talk to you real soon. Bye. Hey, editing Leo again from the future here. I forgot to say thank you for your support and thanks for watching.